prices are up, bidding wars are back, but interest rates are still really high. What the heck is going on with the Toronto condo market? If you are confused by what you are hearing online or in the media, my job is to break that down for you in today's video to hopefully ease some of those concerns and actually show you what the heck is going on in the condo market in 2023 in Toronto. My name is Emma, and I run a real estate team in Toronto called Monstera, and we help millennials transition from their first home to their forever home through our first to forever strategy, which is a very easy to follow path, which kind of demystifies this whole can millennials purchase properties or actually accomplish the goal of home ownership. We show you how to do it through a 3-step process, a very easy to follow path, as long as you have a plan to be in the real estate market for at least 5 years. So if you are interested in booking a call with our team, there's a link in the description below. And if not, that's okay too. If you're renting right now and contemplating home ownership in 2023 or 2024, I actually prepared a full 5-step strategy guide, which discusses 5 individual strategies that you can use to transition from renting to home ownership. And you don't even have to contact us. There's a link in the description below for you to get access to that information, should you so find value in it. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. And I want to preface this particular video by showing you where the locations, the actual locations that we're going to be looking at to assess this data today. So we are looking exclusively at the Toronto condo market, but we're going to break it into 2 different areas. So the first area is going to be CO1, which is a sexy industry term for the west end of downtown, okay? And that is Bloor to the Water and basically Dufferin to Yonge Street, so the west side of downtown. We are then after going to look at CO8, another sexy term for how things are categorized on MLS for us, which is the east end of downtown. And that is Bloor to the Water from Yonge Street to the DVP. So if you're thinking about buying or selling in either of these regions, in this video, I actually broke them out separately so that you can see how they are performing. Let's hop over to the Habistat and actually look at the January numbers. We're going to be looking at CO1 first. So in January, for the west end of downtown, we had 157 total trades, so total transactions that had happened. The average sale price was $776,000, and we had a 97.5% sale price to list price ratio. So what that means is the bulk of these sellers on average received 97% of their asking price. If we continue to trend forward and track this and we start to see this over 100%, that lets us know that the average property that is selling in these within these regions, they are selling above the asking price, okay? And that's what that particular metric means. On average, properties were on the market for about a month, so 32 days, and 16% of these properties that had sold, the 157, 16% of them actually sold over asking. Okay. Now, what I wanted to showcase to you, and obviously we saw that the average price was $776, but if you look, what you can see is, depending on your budget, 21% of the sales sold between $500,000 and $600,000. 30% of the sales sold between $600,000 and $700,000, and 12% of the sales sold between $700,000 to $800,000. So what that means, and why I wanted to showcase this to you, is because there's 3 sales that happen over $2 million, which can skew this average sales price and make it look like, if you look at it, you're like, oh, well, that's not my budget. I'm actually a lot lower. Well, don't worry. We had 21 and then 30. So we had 51% of the sales occurred under the 700K mark. So it's okay. Don't worry about that. You had, if we're looking under 500K in this particular region, it's going to be difficult because we had, less than 4% of the volume actually sold under the 500K mark. So if you're watching this video and you have a budget of 500 to 700K, it's super healthy. It's super healthy as far as January is concerned. We're going to look at February in 1 second, but 51% of the actual trades that happened under 700K. So don't be fooled by this. So I wanted to show this to you guys in terms of volume. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fast forward, and I'm going to go to February. Excuse me for 1 second. Now let's look at this again together. Sales volume was up from 157 to 208. I'm going to show you the exact numbers in a second. The average sales price was up 776 to 799, so 800K. The average sales to list price ratio was also up from 97.5 to 99. Average days on market went down from 32 to 27, and we increased our sales above asking by about, I think it was 8% or so. Now, so what we noticed was like there's more volume, prices are higher, they're going closer to the asking price, there's lower time frame on market, and more of them are selling above asking. Oh my God, so scary. Okay, but let's look at this. We still had 22% of the sales happen between 5 to 600K. So we actually had more trades and a higher distribution of sales that happened between 5 and 600K. And we had 30% almost of the trades that happen between 600 and 700,000. We then had 12% again of the sales happening between 7 to 800,000. So I think you have to be very cautious when you're assessing data or you're taking into consideration what the news says or what, some of the statistics that you see online where people are like, oh my gosh, things are getting so crazy out here. Yes, at the end of the day, if we look at this data, and I've tracked this to make it easier for you here, we had a 32% uptick in actual sales volume in CO1. Okay, so we had 30% more activity in February than we did in January. Yes, prices went up on average 3%. Yes, list prices or list to sale prices went up by 2%. Days on market went down, which means that there's more activity. Obviously, we're having more buyer activity in the marketplace, and our above asking percentage, if it's presented in this way, is like, oh my God, it's gone up by almost 50%. Okay, but it's still only 24% of the market. So yeah, this can look scary, right? But let's put this into context. Let's put this in actual day-to-day context. You have 46 plus 62, right? That's 108 sales out of the 208 that happened. 51.9, so 52% of inventory in this region here is selling between 5 and 700,000. If you're within that budget, don't get freaked out about this number. It's all good. There's still a lot of inventory for you. Over half of the inventory that's selling is still in this price range. Now, you have very little inventory under the 500K price point, and you are having a little bit more movement above. So that is going to skew the average sales price. So I hope this provides you some context as to where we are right now and where you can still find quote unquote affordable housing. You don't have to go above the 800K price point or the average price point to be able to purchase something. So let's transition now into CO8. So I can show you the same numbers and how the market has performed from January to February of 2023. So in January, we had 60 total sales. We had a $727,000 average sales price, so a little bit lower than what you're finding on the West End. Okay, you had a 97.4% sales to list price ratio. Now there isn't as much volume again, so we'll take that into consideration. Average days on market was a little bit less, 5 days less, and sales above asking was about 10%. Now, let's go and fast forward to February. All right, so with February, we've doubled our sales volume. Our average sales price has gone up a little bit, $5,000, so $727 to $733. Our list to sales price ratio was pretty much 100%, 99.9%. Average days on market has remained the same, and sales above asking has over doubled. Let's look at where the trades actually happened. So 6 to 700,000 consumed almost 30% of the marketplace. 29.5% of the trades that happened were between 6 and 700,000. We had another 18%. So we're just shy of 50% here of 5 to 700,000. Again, taking up the volume. So let's look at where the trades have happened. From 600,000 to 700,000, that took up 30% of the market, right? 36 total sales that happened in that range. We had 22 total sales between 5 and 600,000. So that was 18%, right? So if we take into consideration both of those things, we're at just shy of 50% of the marketplace still trading well under the average sales price. And then we had 8 sales, so 6% of the marketplace that actually traded under 500K. All right, so let's look at that into context again, because if we're just looking at these numbers and we actually don't look at where the trades are happening or where you can still find inventory, it can feel a little bit skewed. So we've had double the sales volume, so we've gone up 100%. Sales prices, honestly, I'm going to trade this to yellow because it's within 1%. List of sales price has gone up about 3%, but again, we're about 100% for both of them. So expect to pay what people are asking at this point in time. Days on market are about the same for either. You know, you're looking at being on the market for about a month potentially if you're a seller. And above asking, both of them are performing relatively similarly. A quarter of the properties that are selling right now, or as of February, have sold above the asking price. Now, if I said that has doubled, it would give you a much different impression than 25% of them. So I hope this provides you a little bit more of a reasonable amount of context as to how the market is performing when we're looking at the data. If you have any further questions, please feel free to book a call below and my team would be happy to answer them for you. If you found value in this video, I'd very much appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.